All right, everyone, welcome to the live. Vicky's in the house. Welcome, Vicky. What it do? Welcome all, one and all. Welcome to Rome Knows Tech, guys. I'm your host, Rome Wilkerson. Guys, I'm coming to you down here from the hot state of Texas in the city of Houston. I'm a professional photographer, guys, working here in this hot state. Let me tell you, it can be... Whew, Texas heat is crazy. Plus the humidity, you know. I mean, if it was just heat, it probably wouldn't be that bad. But man, when you add humidity to the game, it is a whole nother level. All right, guys, we got a bunch of stuff to get to this afternoon. I do have a conference call exactly at 2:15. So I'm going to do my best to get through the carousel, hang out with you guys for a little bit, answer any of your questions that you guys may have about any of the gear that I have down in the carousel. All right, guys, Osbot did reach out to me recently, and they sent me some new items from their lineup of cameras. So I actually have a couple of cameras. Let me show you guys what we're working with here. All right, guys, so here is the Osbot. And let me just turn a few things on as well. Okay, here we go. Boom. All right, we're good. All right, guys, so these are the different Osbot cameras that I currently have now in the studio. I have two of the Osbot little 4K Ptz cameras. I also have the new Osbot Meet, which is this camera here. And they also sent me their UVC to HDMI adapter. We will talk a little bit about each one of these devices. Now, you guys, if you've been watching me at all here on Amazon, you know I talk quite a bit about the Osbot 4K camera. So if you guys are interested in any of these cameras whatsoever, today would probably be a good day to ask me a bunch of questions about them. Now, for those who may not have figured it out, I am streaming live here on Amazon this afternoon using the Yolo Box Pro. I actually have the Yolo Box Pro and the Yolo Box Mini here in the studio. Both of these devices were sent to me by Yolo Live. But of course, my opinions on these devices, as with anything that a brand sends me, are my own. I cannot be bought. No, I will not be. But yeah, so let's get right into the first thing, guys. So the first thing we actually want to take a look at is actually the Osbot Meet. So that's one of their, I don't know if that's their flagship camera now, but it is a very popular camera. Now that's the Osbot Meet. That's this little camera right here. I currently have this camera connected to my switcher, my Yolo Box Pro. I have this camera connected to it right now, and I can show you guys that video feed. So if I switch over to that camera's view, that's what you're seeing right now is video feed coming off of that camera. I just have it connected with the USB-C plugged into the Yolo Box Pro. And yeah, it's doing a really good job, guys. Now it seems to do equally well in low light situations. There's not a ton of light here in the studio, but you guys can kind of get the idea. You can see exactly how well this camera's doing. Now, this is a 4K camera. It does have some similar features to the Osbot Ptz camera, meaning that it does have the ability to kind of pan and tilt. Now, it does not physically move. It is just a small little cube camera. Let me actually grab the camera so I can show you guys. So let me switch back over here. And let me wrestle around behind this thing and grab it. All right, let me get it. There we go. All right, guys. So this is the actual camera. And you guys can see I do have a USB-C cable plugged into the back of it. I just have it on this little tripod because it makes it easier for me to mount it on a desk. But yeah, this thing is amazing, guys. So far, it's an all aluminum construction. It does come with a magnetic mount that you'll be able to attach this on top of your laptop or you know, a monitor or something like that. Now, I just, of course, have it connected with the quarter 20 that's underneath here. And I just have this little adapter and then this little mini tripod that I'm using. So I can literally take this camera anywhere. So I can show you guys here some video that's coming right off of the camera. So I'm just showing you right now the Rodecaster Pro 2. Here's my Yolo box here, this that I'm streaming with. And this is the actual HDMI cable that's connected to the camera right here. So just to give you an idea of the picture quality, as you can see, it is very nice. It does take a few seconds for it to focus if there's a lot of things in front of the camera. So if I get a little bit closer, say to the Rodecaster Pro, you'll see it start to focus there. No different if I come over here to where these boxes are set up here in the studio or anything else in the studio. Now, of course, we have both of the cameras. So this is the Osbot. This is their little 4K little PTZ camera. We have that here in the studio as well. I have one that I've been talking about for literally a couple of months, and that's this one right here. And then I have a new one that they actually sent me that I have not unboxed yet. So I think that might wind up being possibly a giveaway item. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. You know, I'll probably save that for, you know, a substantial follower count, you know, increase if we get a, you know, a bunch of followers. And I think that, you know, that'll be something that'll be nice to be a giveaway item. We will do that. Now, for those of you who are interested in the giveaways, yes, I try to do nightly giveaways here on this channel. Nightly, not daily, but nightly giveaways. And that a lot of that is based on how many new followers we get throughout that live stream. So if we hit, my goal is 20 followers a day. That's a very, you know, high number. So if I can get, you know, a few followers during the daytime and then a few more followers at night, if we get close to that number, you know, for just a standard gift card giveaway, then we're going to be, you know, on point for that. Now, for the larger giveaways, you know, things like these cameras and other electronics that I get sent to me, that's where we got to hit those 25 new followers in order to do those. So, yeah. It may sound like a lot, but in reality, it's very simple. So yeah, we're going to keep rolling. So again, guys, this little 4K camera, you can find it here on Amazon for $199. Now, the Osbot Tiny, the little PTZ camera, we have that one here as well. So let me just drop this down in front. Maybe you guys will be able to see it. Hopefully it'll focus on it. Okay, so this is our little PTZ camera. This one we've talked about quite a bit over the last few weeks here on the stream. Now, this one does have the ability to pan. It has the ability to tilt. So that means the head can actually move around. And it also, because it's a 4K camera, it can zoom up to 4x. Now, there is also a 1080p version of this camera as well, as is there with the Meet. So the Meet also has a 1080p and a 4K version. But I recommend, if you guys are going to be looking at either one of these cameras, guys, trust me, invest the money, invest, you know, future-proofing yourself, get the 4K variant of these cameras. Now, the Osbot Tiny PTZ 4K camera right now is $269. So this thing is an amazing little camera. I did already include the remote for this one as well. There is a remote that you can use to control this camera. Now, this one also responds to gestures. This one does not respond to gestures, but it will work with the same remote. So either of the two remotes, I mean, either of these two cameras you purchase, the remote will work equally with either one of those. All right, now there's one more thing that's here, and that is this other device back here. So let me slide this forward so you guys can see it. That is this UVC adapter. So this UVC adapter to HDMI adapter, what this allows you to do is to take a standard USB camera. That could be a webcam, that could be something like one of these Osbot cameras, and connect it to a video switcher. So that means you're going to get USB in on one end and HDMI out on the other end. So that's going to be like kind of your little middleman here. But what this will allow you to do is to connect it to things like the A10 Minis, the Ninja Cast, a number of other devices that do require HDMI cameras. This will allow you to use some of your webcams in you know, with those devices. And when I first started using the Ninja Cast, that was one of the things that I ran into. I was like, oh man, I really want to use my GoPro. I really want to use these Osbots, but I couldn't connect them because they're only USB-C out. Where now with this new adapter, I will have the ability, if I was to use the Ninja Cast, you know, for my stream, I could now use one of these Osbot cameras or the new Meet camera as well. I could use either one of those, you know, in my stream. So that adds a lot of potential to my gamers, my live streamers, content creators out there. Guys, this could just really open up a lot of doors because a lot of us probably already have these lower budget cameras that would be perfect for live streaming, but we want to be able to switch camera angles. We want some of the benefits of using one of these more advanced switchers. So this is what's going to allow us to connect those cameras to those switchers. Now, I did mention there's a remote for these cameras. Let me grab it real quick. I have moved the office around just a tad bit, but this is the remote. So with this little remote, Now you can turn on and off your camera, and like say for instance with the Osbot tiny little Ptz camera, it does have a tracking button here on the top. You also have the ability of using these 3 buttons here to pre-program different destinations for the Osbot. I mean the Ptz camera. You can also program some things for the Meet camera as well. So let me move this back so you guys can see that again. So that's our Meet camera here, and this is the Osbot right next to it, or kind of you know, on both sides of it. Now you do have this rocker switch as well. This will allow you to tilt up and down and pan left and right. You have a center button that'll bring it back to center. And then if you have multiple cameras, you have a device button. And what the device button allows you to do is switch between the different cameras. And of course, you do have a zoom rocker. So any of the cameras that are supported you will be able to use this to zoom in and out with this this remote as well. So another amazing feature from one of the Osbot devices. Now you can purchase this remote separately. It does not come with any of the cameras. You can get the remote right now here on Amazon for $39.99. So I think that's an amazing price for all that you get, you know. So when you combine all of the potential of all of these different items, guys, you know, things like this this adapter, you know, if you're going to be using some of your, you know, current webcams, you know, to be able to use them with your mixer, that's going to come in handy, as well as being able to use one of these cameras in your production. Now, if you're not using anything like one of the mixers that I mentioned, or switchers that I mentioned before, then you could just plug these cameras directly into your Mac or PC and they're going to work just fine. Now, the remote does come with a little dongle that you do have to plug into your computer using one of your USB ports, but you know, this is what allows this remote to control the camera. So that's another thing that you have to take in mind, but it does work, and I've been using it for quite some time, had no problems with it whatsoever. All right, guys, so let's switch back over, and I'm going to kind of clear up the desk a little bit, and we're going to move on to the next item. All right. All right, guys, so the next item in the carousel is one of the Yolo boxes. So the next one we're going to talk about is the Yolo Box Mini. I have the Yolo Box Mini, and I also have the Yolo Box Pro, both of them here in the studio. And as I mentioned before, both of these devices were sent to me by Yolo Live. So here's the Yolo Box Mini. So you guys can see this one is a very small little Android-based tablet. It does have a fan on the back to keep it cool. You can connect one camera to this. So that means you can connect one HDMI camera or one USB camera. You also have HDMI out, so that means you can connect this to another monitor. You have Ethernet on the top of the device as well. That means you can use that to go live. As far as your microphones, you have an option of line in or just a regular microphone, and you can also plug in a set of headphones for this to be able to monitor your audio. On the bottom, you can plug in a SD card, a standard size SD card, and you can also put in a SIM card if you want to use that to go live. And it also has Wi-Fi. So you have 3 different options when it comes to going live with this device. So I'm just going to turn it on real quick here so you guys can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. It takes a few seconds for it to boot up. But once it boots up, you're going to see some of the features and some of the things that you can do with it. And like I said, right now, currently, I'm streaming using one of these devices. I'm using the Yolo Box Pro to stream, and I'm demonstrating or talking to you guys about the Yolo Box Mini. I see my man Richard's in the house. Richard, what it do? What it do? All right. So I'm just going to set this down here on the desk, and hopefully the camera will focus on it so we can see it. All right, so let's switch back over here. All right, guys, so this is the Yolo Box Mini, and you guys can see right now one of the little icons here shows that I'm live, and the reason why it's showing that is because both of these Yolo boxes are connected to the same account. So technically, I can see the same resources between the 2 different devices. Now, I do have an upcoming stream, so I already pre-set up my stream for tonight, but I could go live either from this Yolo Box Mini or I could go live from the Yolo Box Pro. Now, when it comes to setting up your streams, you just have this little red button down here. You just tap on this button, and what that will do is it'll take you into another screen. I'm trying not to knock it over at the same time. But you guys see here, you have your monitor mode, and you also have your create live stream mode. Under the create live stream mode, you'll be able to go in and create a live stream or just use this as a monitor or recorder. I did a number of shoppable videos yesterday, and I literally used the Yolo Box to do it. I just connected the camera since they were already connected to it. And because these devices are also recorders, you can record directly into them onto the SD card that is installed on it. I see my man Colander is in the house. Colander, what it do? What it do? Colander says, "Hey Rome, I got that too. Current. I still don't understand where on button is." Colander. Okay, so check it out, bro. Do me a huge favor. You know, I love answering your questions. But before you hit that send button, take a second and reread what you're about to say to make sure the person that's going to read it is going to understand what it is you're trying to say to them. So if you can't find the power button, it is literally this button right here underneath the device. Okay, so you have a power button, you have a space for your SD card, you have another space for your SIM card. All of the devices are set up exactly the same. If you are streaming and you want to stream with this device, when you're in your streaming mode, okay, so I'm going to go back to my upcoming stream, and you'll see this large button that says, this red button that says go live. Okay, so let's look at it here on this camera angle. So let me switch back over here. You can see there's this large button that says go live. So once you have everything set up and you're ready to go live, all you have to do is press that go live button. Now, if you do want to record at the same time, you can press the record button first, start recording. That's usually what I do. And then I hit the go live button, and then I just go live with the device. That's exactly what I'm doing here right now. So the only difference that you're going to see here with the Mini versus the Pro is that, you know, obviously the screen is going to be slightly different, and there's no cameras currently connected to this one. But I will switch over. I will switch. Why you look so clear than your normal do? Why you look so clear than you normally do? I don't even know how to start to answer that question. So I'm just going to go and just keep rolling and try and explain to you what I was saying before. So I'm going to switch over to my USB camera here. And you can see here is the Yolo Box Colander. It is streaming right now. If you look close, you can see that the streaming button is on. It is currently streaming. You can even look up and see what my frame rate is. You can see how long I've actually been live, you know, what my kilobits are right now. I am only streaming at 720. If you're going to stream here on Amazon, the maximum you can stream on Amazon is 720, just in case you didn't already know. But of course, like I mentioned to you before, if you purchase this device and you ran into some problems and you can articulate those problems to me, I will do my best to answer those questions for you, my man. So that you don't have to worry about. So see, my Evans has just made it in here. So y'all all know what that means. You know what that means. You already know. Don't act like you don't know.
Evans? What's up, Evans? My Evans is here, y'all. My Evans is here. Hey, Evans. How you doing? Hey. Okay. You know, Evans is up in here, y'all. So, you know it. If you hear this voice, you already know Evans is in the house. So I also need to check, see if anybody left any comments on any of my others, because I am streaming. Whoops, let me turn this off, because this is going to get annoying.
I am also streaming, multi-streaming right now to YouTube as well as to Facebook. So I do have to periodically pop back over to see if anybody left comments so that I could drop those comments here on the screen if they have any questions. Like camera looks sharp than your normal stream. Colander, I'm literally using the exact same cameras. I have my Sony a7 R2 in front. I have my Sony a7 III next to me. I am using this Osbot Meet camera as an alternate camera here in the studio, which is this little camera right here. I talked about that one just a few minutes ago. This was sent to me by Osbot, but I do have it plugged in through the USB-C on the Yolo Box. And for audio, my man, on the Yolo Box, I have the Rodecaster Pro 2 connected directly to the Yolo Box, and it's plugged in right here in USB-C. So the USB-C I have for the Rodecaster Pro 2, and USB-A right here is where I have the camera plugged in. Okay, so that's the camera that I'm actually showing you guys. I hope I don't make anybody dizzy, but that's the camera that I'm using right now, which is the Osbot Meet camera. So yeah, that's what we're doing. No, I haven't changed lighting. I've changed nothing in the studio. Oh, well, I did change one thing. If you guys remember, there was a shelf that used to be directly behind me. I did move that shelf so that I could put it off to the side, ideally so I could pull the green screen up. So when I want to green screen something out, it's a lot easier for me to get to the green screen. So right now I am seeing again what looks to be the same prices for the Yolo boxes that we saw during Prime Day. $690. Wait. Let me go back. Nope, it's not the same prices because actually the Mini was $559, but the Mini right now is $699, and the Pro is $999, down from the $1299 that it was before. So either of the two that you guys might be interested in. So if you're interested in the Mini, this is going to be ideal if you're only going to be using one camera. That could be, again, an HDMI camera, or it could be a USB camera. You have a lot of the same features that the Pro and the OG have. The Mini and the Pro share the same processor, so both of these can stream up to 60 frames a second. That's another advantage to going with either the Mini or the Pro. Now, if you are interested in doing multiple cameras like I do in my streams, you're definitely going to need the Pro over the Mini because you can only connect one camera to this at a time. So, you know, there's that. Let me see if I'm, make sure I'm not missing any comments down here. I'm testing the Mini, and when I put the C270 webcam, it don't pick up because. Okay, so here's the issue with some webcams. Some webcams require USB power in order for them to work, okay? So if your device cannot provide USB power to the camera, then the camera won't work, okay? Now, I have plugged cameras that I know that have worked. I have used the Osbot, the little Ptz camera with both of the Yolo boxes, no problem. I'm currently using, as you can see right now, this Osbot Meet with the camera, no problem. Now, when I want to use my GoPro, that's where I ran into a problem because the GoPro will not work natively with either of these two devices. I had to add the GoPro Media Mod so I could have HDMI out from that camera so I could plug it into these devices, okay? Now, the other webcams will most likely be, they most likely are getting power from your USB if you're plugging it directly into your computer. You can check with the manufacturer, their tech support. I guarantee you they're going to probably tell you the same thing. So just like with the Osbot, this little camera here, right? This one comes with a USB-C cable, but it also comes with a power cable. So some devices require it can't power this camera. So it comes with an extra cable that you plug into this if you needed to plug this into the wall to get power to the camera, right? So a lot of webcams, almost all webcams, are getting their power from your USB bus. So I don't know what other cameras I've experimented with because I don't really have a lot of webcams. I'm just going to be honest with you, but I'm just telling you the cameras that I've connected to the Mini, cameras that I've connected to the Pro, whether it's one of my HDMI cameras, my Sony, mirrorless cameras, or the USB cameras that I'm talking about. All of them have worked with both of the Yolo boxes. So the camera that you're referring to, I don't really have a lot of background on it, but we will try to troubleshoot that. Maybe even after my stream, I'll do a little bit of research for you. And if I find out anything, I will definitely let you know. You know, I hit you up on Facebook or wherever else you're following me. So, so excuse me. So the Osbot Meet is down here in my carousel. It is $199 for the Osbot Meet, 4K. Now there's two different versions of this camera. There's a 1080p version of it and there's a 4K version of it. You want the 4K version, even though you're not streaming in 4K, you still want the better resolution image that you'll be able to capture with it, especially if you're going to be using it for other things other than just streaming, okay? So just to show you again what the quality of that camera looks like. I'm gonna switch back over to that camera. So this is that camera right now. This is the Osbot Meet that I'm showing you guys this camera angle from, right? So I could go over here and we could get closer, say to the Yolo Box Mini, okay? Now I could bring it over here where it's less light and show you again the Yolo Box Pro, so you guys can see pretty much what I'm seeing here on the screen. Or if I go over to my monitor, which I'm using as my program out monitor, you can see that as well. And almost any place I take this camera in the room, you can see you're getting a very high quality image off of it. Now, there are some lights in the studio. There's a light directly over my A camera here. There's another light panel right here that's over my desk that's putting a little bit of light down here on the desk. But for the most part in this room, there's only ceiling lights. So I just have two 200-watt ceiling lights in the room. Now, they do add a lot of light to the room, but you know, you're seeing right now with from this little camera, and of course, because this is plugged right into the Yolo Box colander, there's no way for me to adjust this camera in any form or fashion. This is just right from the camera's firmware, you know, default. So that's what we're seeing right here, is just the default from the camera. So, yep. All right, let's see who else has popped in here. I see my man. Oh, Faustino. Faustino is here. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Welcome. Alley Cat. So, Faustino, since you're here, because I did not get a chance this morning to send out your gift card, let's do it right now. All right, so let me jump over here to my email and find the email that you sent me. Hopefully, it is going to be easy for me to find it. I don't see it. Alan, did you send it? I mean, Faustino, did you send it to contact@pod1media.com? Because the last ones I'm seeing here are from previous live streams. So let me try refreshing it to see if there's any new messages. No. So let me check spam, because that's usually where it is if it's not. Let's try junk. Foz, there we go, there we go. And of course, Foz did not send me his email address. Foz, I need you to just type your email address in the email, and then I can just copy it, and then I can just take it over to Amazon and create a gift card for you. So quick, no problem, bro, no problem. Just send me another quick email. I have it up right now here on my screen, so as soon as it comes through, I'll see it, and when I do see it, I'll just copy that over, and of course I will send that gift card out to you. All right, so what were we just talking about? So we were talking about the Yolo Box Pro, so let's kind of run that down real quick while we have some time to talk about it. So I'm gonna switch back to the USB camera view. Maybe my man Colander is still here. So this is the Yolo Box Pro, guys, just like the Yolo Box Mini here. The difference with this one is that we can connect multiple cameras to it. So I can connect 3 HDMI cameras, 1 USB camera like the one I'm demonstrating with here. Of course, we have Ethernet. We also have HDMI out, and we have an additional USB-C port. So the USB-C on this one I'm actually using for this webcam. When it comes to audio, I can plug in a set of headphones. I can also, on my microphones, I can do a line-in mic, or I can do just a standard microphone plugged into this. You can also plug in USB microphones and also keyboards, okay? So here's the device as it sits in this little 3D printed cage. Now this cage is from a company called PepperTech. This was actually designed by a friend of mine. A friend of mine designed this cage, you know, for the Yolo Box Pro, and you guys can see underneath here there is a little cheese plate that makes it easy to connect this, say for instance, to a tripod. I just have it on this little desktop tripod, and then all of the same features here, all the same features, guys, you'll see them here. Let's see, we got a comment coming in from YouTube. Besides Rode or DJI, what other wireless microphones are good? So let me show you guys this comment right here. So let me adjust that if I can. So he's asking, besides Rode and DJI, what other good wireless microphones are there? There are actually quite a few. Sennheiser, a number of others have produced amazing, amazing high quality microphones. but it really depends on your work scenario. You know, how are you going to be connecting these? So like with the new DJI ones, they make it really, really simple to connect them to smartphones. A lot of people are using these microphones for smartphones. So you get those adapters that come with it. Foz, I am checking your email right now at the exact same time. I am copying your email, and I'm going to go ahead and grab that. And then I'm going to jump back over here and send you, we're going to send you a gift card here in just a second. But yeah, as far as microphones go, the two that I seem to always lean more toward has always been the Rode, and now recently the DJI, because I am a big fan of the way that the kit is set up. Give me 1 second. Oops, can't spell. There we go. So we can grab our gift card. Now, of course, you guys know we only had 4 people in the giveaway last night, so it's going to be a very, very small gift card. We get more people tonight. Of course, that amount will increase. So I'm going to send that out right now. My man Foz should get that here in just a second. Let me check to make sure it has been sent. Yes, it has been sent. It says order place. Thanks. So it should take you a few minutes to get it, Foz. So just let me know when you do receive it. All right. So, but as to the question, I'm still answering some questions here regarding regarding Rode microphones. GoPro or mirrorless for blogging is another question that just came in. I actually use both. I actually use mirrorless cameras. I use the Sony a7 III. I have a Sony a7 R2, the Sony a7 R5. I'm sorry, the Sony a7 III. On Sony a7 R3. I can't think today. But when it comes to blogging, I lean a lot toward the GoPro. Now I have a complete setup for my GoPro here. I have the GoPro Hero 10 with the media mod, but even before the media mod, I was using just the Uvc cage, and I was using the GoPro mic adapter that, you know, plugs in through the cage. And then that allowed me to also still have additional cold shoes, 2 cold shoes, 1 on either side. Of course, this microphone is here. I'm not a huge fan of the microphone for the media mod. I would just plug a wireless microphone into this kit, and I think you'll be great. Or a little shotgun microphone, especially if you're going to be doing some blogging where you're kind of recording yourself. You know, this could work as well. But don't discount your phones, guys. I'm telling you, you guys, you're sleeping on the fact that you're walking around in your pocket with a pocket computer with a high quality camera built into it. All you need to do is add a microphone to it and it's a win, okay? So yeah, I think you can really truly benefit. You know, if you're in a position where you can purchase a better camera, I say go for it. You know, future-proof yourself. Make sure you're getting something that's gonna, you know, that's gonna last you for a few years, and it's not gonna just be like a spur of the moment thing. It's great for right now, but like next month, it's not gonna be so good. But you also got to always take into consideration that gear will always get better over time. There will always be updates. There will always be a newer version. So don't let that limit you from what you want to purchase. If you're looking at a MacBook or an iPad or whatever the gadget is, okay? If it suits what you're looking for, get it. Just get it, and start creating, and you know, make the best of what you have available to you. All right, so we're still talking about the Yolo Box Colander. Corinder just left a test message on my YouTube channel just to say test. So I just went ahead and threw that up there so you guys could see that. So he's so funny. He's so funny. But yeah, your comments will come through if you're streaming with your Yolo Box and you're streaming to those multiple platforms. I'm streaming right now to YouTube and also to Facebook, and obviously right here on Amazon as well. So all of those platforms are getting some love from Rome today, okay? All right, so yeah, remember I had a sweet microphone. I broke it and I messed it up, messed up the wire. Okay, so Colander, microphones. Now, I don't know exactly what you're planning on doing with your Yolo Box, but honestly, a simple setup for your microphones is going to be a wireless microphone, because you have line in for your Yolo Box. You also have mic in. So if you're using something, say for instance, like the Rode Wireless Go microphones version 2, or you're using the DJI microphones version 1, they will just simply plug right into your Yolo box, and you can use that as your microphone. Just clip the little microphone on yourself. Now, what I really, really like, I think one of my favorite things, and of course we're going to talk about these microphones a little bit later, but since everybody's here and they're kind of asking questions about it, I'm going to show you guys real quick. I'm just going to pop open the case for the DJI microphones. This is the charger case that comes with it. Let's see, let's scroll up here real quick. So these microphones right now are $329.99 here on Amazon if you want these microphones. I'm not going to highlight them, but I'll just show it to you because we'll get to them in a second. But anyway, the big thing about the microphones, other than the fact that it has a really cool little tiny receiver, 2 microphones, just like with the Rode, they also have internal memory so that you can record a backup track. But one of my favorite things about these microphones, guys, that comes with it, okay, is the little magnetic mounts, okay, these little magnetic clips. So these little magnets just clip onto the regular clip, you know, just your standard clip you would use to connect to your shirt or something like that. Rode provides these little magnets, okay? And you just take these little magnets, they just clip on just like that. And what's cool about those is that you can literally take these magnets and put them anywhere and attach your microphone pretty much anywhere you want the microphone to be. Now that's horrible, horrible microphone placement, but you guys get the idea, right? These things can definitely get the job done. And another thing you can do with these, it's not, I don't think it was designed for this, but another thing you can do with it is you can put the magnet underneath like this, and you can make this, turn this into like a little stand, you know, so you can kind of, I'm just going to drop it, but you can kind of stand it up like that. If you want it for some reason, the microphone to be standing up on a desk, you could do that too, you know. Yeah, that's how my mind works. Always thinking of crazy stuff. But then those magnets just live on the microphone. So when you put these back in their charging case like that, they just start charging again, and you never have to really take them off. So that's pretty cool, you know. But like I said, we'll talk about these microphones a little bit later in the stream. But for now, we're going to keep rolling. I'm going to show you guys a few things that you can do with the Yolo Box while I already have it here. The Yolo Box Pro is the only one that has the built-in keyer, so you can green screen things. Now, I do have a green screen here in the studio. I actually purchased the Elgato green screen. Actually, was referred to me, recommended to me by Christina Nietzsche. But before we get to that, we're going to take a look at this other cage also for the Yolo Box Pro. YC Onion also makes the same cage for the OG Yolo Box, and there's a new cage coming out very soon for the Yolo Box Mini. It's already out in China. It just hasn't made it to Amazon here in the US yet, but let me show you the cage. Okay, so here's the metal cage that you can purchase from YC Onion. This cage is $149. It has these jerk stoppers. So when you plug your cables in, these will lock down on top of the cable, and they just kind of, you release them with these little dials here, and you can lock them down in place, and that'll prevent the cables from being pulled out. Trust me, you may not think that's a big deal, but when you're out on location, like I am with a lot of client work, people walking all around your work area, they will accidentally step on these cables and snatch a cable out. The person could literally be live at the same time and streaming, and all of a sudden, boop, camera just got disconnected. You know, of course, most of the time, just replugging it, it will just, reconnect or whatever, but who wants to go through that headache? So, having these jerk stoppers here on this cage really comes in handy. And I'll tell you another place that I use jerk stoppers is actually on my cameras. So on my camera cages, I have jerk stoppers for like my USB-C cables when I'm tether shooting and I'm, sending photos directly from the camera straight over to the computer. I have a USB-C cable plugged into that. And I want to make sure that if myself or the model or someone else steps on that cable, they don't accidentally jerk it out of my camera and do some damage to it. So it has another different type of version of a jerk stopper. Now, this little metal cage, which is aluminum, has a bunch of 1/4-20s all the way around the sides. You also have cold shoe mounts on both sides of the cage. You will have to assemble this cage. It comes in 4, pieces with the screws and everything you need. You also have 1/4-20s underneath this, so this is going to be really easy to mount this, say for instance on a tripod or something like that. It really comes in handy. Now, if you guys remember a couple of weeks ago, I did have the Yolo Box Pro in this cage. Now, I did switch it out to the 3D printed cage that Aaron Persecki designed, just so I could have something a little bit different on the desk. But Either of these cages will do really well. I see this cage more as an on-location type of cage because one, it's metal, two, it has the jerk stoppers. The other one is more like an in-studio type of cage because it just works better in studio. I could use both of these, but I prefer this one, this style, for my studio setup because of the fact it has all of these cold shoes on all the handles. Each handle has 2 cold shoes. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me put this cage away first. I didn't drop anything. I didn't drop anything. All right, guys. So here's the cage, the 3D printed cage from PepperTech. And you guys can see that it has these little handles. Each one of the handles has a cold shoe mount on it. So we have another handle here on the top. And then we have one more handle here on the opposite side. There are some drill points on this cage, but there's no threading. So if you were to use those to maybe mount other things to them, you would also need some kind of nut on the opposite side because they're just basically drilled holes. But what I do like about this one is that really easily I can mount a camera or 2 on top here. So I could have like the Osbot Ptz camera mounted here, and I could also have the Meet camera mounted here on top of this as well. So I have one camera with tracking ability and another camera that's just more of a fixed camera, and both of them could be plugged into this device at the exact same time, which is a win. Plus your normal HDMI cameras will be plugged in at the same time. Now, as you see, there's no type of jerk stoppers or anything like that to prevent these cables from being pulled out. But most of the time, that's not going to be a huge issue in most case scenarios, but it's the things that you don't prepare for that will most likely happen when you least expect them to happen. So I'm just saying. So, all right, so let me switch back over here. So, all right, sorry about that, guys. So the next thing we do want to take a look at is the green screen from Elgato. Yes, Evans, I'm live on Amazon. Amazon. I'm live on YouTube, and I'm also live on Facebook at the same time. So if you're on either of those platforms, of course, it's more fun over here on Amazon because you guys actually get to see the carousel. You get to see exactly what I'm talking about. You can look at the products, that we're talking about, versus just kind of visualizing it when you're looking at it from the other platforms. Let's see. Colander says, remember, you got Amazon chat on screen. Yeah, I can bring the chat on screen from YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, possibly LinkedIn, but I'm not. Don't quote me on that because I'm not sure. But what you guys were used to seeing when I would go live, where the chat bubbles would automatically pop up all the time on the stream, that had nothing to do with the Yolo Box. I was using Streamlabs OBS, and actually the pop-ups also had really little to do with OBS as well. It was just an extension that I was running in the background that would take your comments and then throw them up on the screen every time you guys would make a comment. So another way that you can use your Yolo boxes, if you wanted to, you could use it solely as a switcher. Now, you do lose some of the features when you do that, like some of the overlays and things like that won't work, after using it as a switcher, but you can just do USB-C out and then plug that into your Mac or PC, and your Mac or PC will see the Yolo box no different than any other webcam. And then you could literally have multiple cameras connected to the Yolo box and also be streaming through whatever other platform or application you want to use. All right, so let's get to this green screen thing. So let me pull this thing up. Now, I honestly think I should have got a wider green screen. I didn't realize how much space I would need for the green screen. So I'm trying to position myself where I'm kind of like in the center of it. So I'm going to just really quickly key myself out. Now on the Yolo box, it is so simple. Let me show you guys what that looks like. So here on the Yolo box, if you guys can see, hopefully you can see the little icon. There's a little teeny tiny little man, little white square right there. And you would just tap on that little square. And then what that would do is allow you to key out the green screen. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to key out the green. I'm just going to turn on the keyer, and then almost instantly it's gone. You guys now probably see in the same space where the green was is now black. This green screen is not lit. That means it is not lit to separate me from the green screen. It's literally lit by the same light that's in the room. Ideally, when you set up a green screen, you want to light it separately from the subject that's going to be in front of it. But I just want to do this so I can show you how well this works. So I'm going to choose, I don't know, let me just choose, let's just do a picture. Let's do a picture-in-picture. So I'm going to create a picture-in-picture layout. This is also very simple. Just you'll choose your main source. Then you also choose your secondary source. So my secondary source is going to be the keyed out. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to choose the shape. So we're just going to go with a normal rectangular shape. You have 3 shapes you can choose from. You can choose from a circle, a rectangle, or a diamond. Those are the 3 current shapes you can choose from. But what I'm going to change is the aspect ratio to like a 3:4. That should remove some of the things that's on either side of me that are not keyed out. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to scale myself up a little bit so I don't look so tiny. Then I'm just going to hit done. Then I'm going to hit the picture-in-picture. All right, so now you guys should see me here on the screen. You can see my hands and everything. Now, if I do go out too far, my hands will disappear because I've kind of set a little frame for myself to sit within this frame. But I can also still go over here and touch things on my desk. I can still talk about products, and you guys see the giant hand behind me. I could bring in other things that maybe I want to talk about. I'm like, hey, here's this little Osbot camera. It's so cool. Blah, 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 blah. Maybe I want to change the camera angle just a little bit. My camera doesn't seem to want to focus on either one of these things right now. But you guys get the idea, right? So let me find something else. That might be a better, let's do that. All right, so let's just put that little box there. So easily enough, I could have a product here right next to me on the desk, and I'm keying myself out, and I'm talking about this product. Of course, with the camera that's nearest me, I can always zoom in even further and say, okay, guys, yeah, this is the Osbot, UVC to HDMI adapter. This thing is amazing. Check it out. Blah, 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 blah. Of course, right? So that is another feature that is built in to the Yolo Box Pro. And just using a simple green screen. Now, of course, you don't have to have this Elgato green screen. It is a pretty good price, $159.99 for the green screen. It does easily. It's easy for you to, pop it up and put it down. Now, I'm going to switch back over to my normal view, and I'm going to show you guys how easy it is for me to put this thing away. But first thing I'm going to do is turn the keyer off. All right, so the keyer's off, so you guys should see the green screen behind me now. So I'm just going to turn around, try not to unplug my headphones. Yes, I knocked something down. Yes, I dropped something, Chris. Chris, you get 1 point. I dropped one thing during this live stream. And that's this. These LED lights. I dropped them, Chris. So 1 more point for Chris. Crazy times, crazy times. All right. Yeah, they're well packaged. They're well packaged. I actually took them out, and I think I did a shopable video on them a couple of months ago, actually. I was going to put those up in my backyard, and then I was like, nah, I don't want them because I have a bunch of lights back there already. Then I was thinking I was going to give them to my neighbor, and then I just never got around to it, and they literally just have been sitting up there the whole time, just taking up space. All right, guys, so we're going to keep rolling. Now we're going to start getting into a little bit of audio gear. So we're going to talk about some of the different devices I've used audio-wise in studio, on location. Some of these devices, you can use them in both with no issues whatsoever. So the first thing we're going to take a look at audio-wise is going to be the Zoom H6. So now that shelf is not behind me anymore, it's like an effort to go back there and get stuff. I originally had it like right next to me here earlier, and then I moved it back again because I was like, no, I want some space so I can walk through here, because I felt like I was in a cage, when I had like the shelves on both sides of me. But I don't know. I'm going to have to rethink the setup for this stuff here. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet. I might have to. I'll come up with some idea. But anyway, let's get to it. All right, guys. So this is the Zoom H6. This is a field recorder. Now, this recorder does have some very, very unique features, being that you can interchange the microphones. Now, my kit came with this XY mic, and it also came with an omnidirectional mic. So you get these 2 different microphones. Yes, this device works perfectly colander, in case you're curious, with the Roadcasters, because you do have line out. That means you can easily plug this into your line in on your Yolo box, so you won't have a problem with that. And being that this is a field recorder, you get some other features. That means you can either plug in instruments or microphones. And you have 2 of these dual ports on both sides. Now, on this side of the device, you also have your little door here for your SD card. You have this 3.5 that you can plug in your headphones. Of course, you have your gain controls here for your headphones, and you have your on and off switch. And then again, back here on the back, we have a remote plug, and we also have our line out. On this side, we have 2 more of those dual ports. We also have our menu button, we have a rocker switch, and we have our USB-C, USB, I think that's a USB, I don't know what size that one is, but it comes with the cable. I can't remember what the size of that one is, because it's not USB, maybe it's a USB-B, could be. I'm not sure, I have to look that one up. But it is a very unique size for the plug that goes into this. And then you can use this now also as an audio interface. Now on the top of the device, you have independent gain controls for anything that you plug into it. You also have some pads, so you can turn these pads on or off. That's going to add additional volume. You have buttons along here. These buttons you can use to turn off anything that you have plugged into the device. You also have your normal transport buttons. That's going to be your record, your play, pause, fast forward, rewind, color screen, not touch, but it is color. So you'll be able to see, you know, all of your different gain levels. This thing has so many features, guys. It is just mind-boggling how many features they built into this thing. It has a metronome. It has a compressor. It has so many features that were so ahead of their time that most people didn't even realize the majority of the things this device can do. There are a lot of people that probably own this thing right now, have owned it as long as I have or longer, and still don't realize all the things this little field recorder can do. So you can find this field recorder, guys, here on Amazon for $288.88. Check it out. All right, let me see what's going on down here in my Amazon comments. Countess of Low Carbs, what up? Welcome, welcome. All right, guys, that's another big time A-list content creator here on Amazon. I'm just still surprised she hasn't dropped her link yet, but Countess of Low Carbs, you know you are always welcome to drop your link here on Rome Knows Tech. Just drop that link. You know how we do it.
Don't be shy. Just come on up in here, drop your link, say, hey, what's up, everybody? Okay, deuces, I'm out, you know.
See, that's how Christina Nietzsche does it. She just come up in here, she'd be like throwing up stuff. She like, hey, what's up? Okay, this is my link to this is my link to that. Okay, I gotta go bake something. Some tiny muffins for Rome. She's like, I gotta go tease Rome on Instagram about his little teeny tiny muffins. Rome trying to come up on me trying to bake. I ain't having it. And Rome did them little baby muffins. Then with Rome, stop trying to bake. Just stick to what you know. Talk about tech, bro. Don't be trying to bake and show people them little teeny tiny muffins. You know. So yeah, that did happen though. That happened for real. You could ask somebody. They'll tell you. Evan?
I'll tell you what happened. You know, I tried to make some muffins and it did not go well. I'm just saying. Countess of Low Carbs, a lot of other live streamers here. Man, they're amazing chefs. They do some amazing content here on Amazon. Rome is just not a chef, y'all. Just not. I can cook though. Don't get me wrong. I cook literally every single day. Okay. I am the master of the air fryer. Rome, did you get my question? Let me see, Colander. What was your question? Rome, sorry to change the subject. I wanted to ask, is there a case for the Yolo Mini? No, there's not yet. But according to my rep over at YC Onion, there is one coming for the Yolo Box Mini. I will send you a link to the graphic. It almost looks identical to the one for the Pro, except it only has one cold shoe versus two, and it doesn't have as many quarter 20s on it, but most people are not going to be probably attaching a bunch of things to the cage anyway. But it does have the jerk stoppers, so I'm a huge fan of that. Same type of metal alloy and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, hit me up on, especially if you hit me up on Instagram, I can send you the link because it's actually, if you go to my Instagram, just scroll down, you'll see it. You'll see the cage. Just scroll down, scroll through my Instagram feed, and you'll see the cage for the Yolo Box Mini. I posted it probably like 3 weeks ago. Yep. Countess says she's got to run. Got to run. Stop picking on me, y'all. Just stop it. Just stop. Just stop. Anyway, Zoom H6. Yes, there is a Zoom H8 as well. You guys can check that one out as well. It does have some really neat features. I said neat. It has some very unique features, including it is more designed around the needs of podcasters and Foley recorders. Foley recorders are the people who go out and record the sound effects that you take for granted when you watch a movie, like somebody walking, the sound of leaves rustling in the wind, the sound of water. That's Foley. And someone is actually paid a lot to go out and record that. And that's where sometimes these little recorders can really, really come in handy, because I've used them myself for that type of recording. So Zoom H6, Zoom H8, Zoom H5, whichever one you like, you know, whatever tickles your pickle, you know, just check it out. Check it out. All right, guys. So the next item in the carousel is the OG. The OG, the Rodecaster Pro from 2018. I got it. Yep, I still got one. This is the one I just upgraded from. So with this one, very similar to what we just looked at with the Zoom H6, you can plug in 4 XLR microphones, a USB device, you can plug in a smartphone, you can plug in a Bluetooth device. Of course, this fader here is for your sound pads. These are just exclusively sound pads. You can bring in sound effects, and I've also brought in entire interviews that I've done with people and save them to this device. And when I'm doing like I was trying to do a podcast, and I would say, oh yeah, guys, I want you guys to hear what I was talking to so-and-so about. And then I would just tap it and play it, and it would play through the whole thing. You get an indicator on this nice little 5-inch screen as your content is playing down. At the end of the day, this is a recorder. So you got this big, nice record button here as well. You can plug in also 4 sets of headphones. You can also plug in monitoring speakers. On the back, the business side of this shell, the top shell is all metal. You can plug in 4 sets of headphones. You can plug in a smartphone, 4 sets of headphones. These are your inputs, left and right for your monitoring speakers. Your mini SD card goes here. Your USB-C card goes here. Here's your power plug, power switch, Kensington lock. The older one does not have a Versa mount, but it does have these nice little rubber pads underneath. I use this thing, guys, ever since 2018. I've used it with the Rodecaster Pro. I mean, not the Rodecaster Pro. I've used it with the Rode Procaster, the Rode Pod mics. I've even connected the Rode Wireless Go microphones to this at times. I've used it with the Shure SM7B. I had one, I sold it because this couldn't really provide enough gain for that without putting some type of inline preamp, and I wasn't a fan of that. So a friend of mine wanted that microphone, and I wound up selling it to him, and that's when I purchased this one, and I've just been rocking this one literally ever since then. But this is the Rodecaster Pro. This is the OG. You can still get it here on Amazon for $488. All right. So now the new hotness is the Rodecaster Pro 2. So let's take a look at that one. So that one is, let me see which camera that is. Yep. Okay. So that's this camera. All right, guys. So this is the Rodecaster Pro 2. If you guys take a look here, it has some very similar features. Yeah, there's a bunch of cables all over the place, but you guys can figure that out. I got a bunch of cameras. All of them got to be cable plugged in. Not no wireless cameras. I wish. Okay. So very similar to the Rodecaster Pro, the OG. The new one, according to Rode, was not an upgrade of the previous. This was built from the ground up to be something new, but still familiar. You do have similar buttons along the bottom here. You have your mute and solo buttons. You have a number of faders. You have a total of 6 faders here. Your record button has been moved to the opposite side. So the record button is no longer on this side of the device. Now it's over here, just a smaller round button opposed to the square button that was originally here. This is now a 5.5-inch screen and is slightly elevated, so it makes it easier for you to see it at a distance. Your gain controls for your headphones now have these little LED lights around them. You have this multifunction button here that also has an LED light. The screen is very nice. It's very bright. You can adjust the brightness of it really simply. Now, this also has your effect buttons. You have all of your effect buttons along the top here. You can customize the color of those. I made them all blue because that's my color. Of course, I can still go through here, guys, and play my normal sound effects, like I normally do during my live streams. Of course, you can now also add instruments to this device, so you can plug in up to 4 instruments. There's a bunch of presets already built into the device, including for the SM7B. There's a preset for that one also. So this one now has over 76 dB of gain. So now the Shure SM7B would be more practical to me because I could actually use it with this device. Think before I don't want to get my dirty. Think because I don't want to get mine dirty. I'm not really sure what your question is, Colander. You're gonna have to readdress that one for me because I have no idea what you're talking about, bro. But I'm gonna keep looking at the comments. So if you come through with something new, I got you. All right, guys. So other things that you can now do with this device, you can go in and do pitch shifting. That's where our voice effects are coming from. So if you guys hear me using different voice effects with this device, that's basically it. It does have a number of pre-installed voice effects, and you can also go in and customize and add your own. So here's one of them.
So this is my incognito voice. If I want to use this voice to call somebody and disguise my voice while I'm ordering 14 pizzas, 17 gallons of coffee, and 1 stick of butter, this is how I do it. And then
Sometimes I use this voice because I want to call and let people know, yes, I got all those pizzas and those coffee, and I drank all that coffee, and I'm just wired. Okay, so I don't want no drama. You don't want no drama, so don't worry about how much coffee I had, okay? So back up off me. Then we got
this voice effect that sounds like somebody from the 40s is talking into a megaphone down a hall trying to get someone's attention. Sir, would you vote for me? If you vote for me, I will give you a cheese sandwich and a cup of buttermilk. Yeah, that was a big deal back then. Right now, that just sounds gross to me, but you know. You do you, boo-boo. Okay, let's keep rolling.
So then this one is going to be my Halloween voice. This will be the voice that the kids will hear when they're taking too much candy out of the bowl. Stop! Take one, or this one will come for you.
And then we have our Transformer voice, a tiny robot voice.
We have a censor button. So if somebody says something they're not supposed, you could censor them, but you would have to be a psychic in order for that to work, because how would you know what the person's going to say in time to be able to censor them? Now, we also have a ducking button, which is super cool, because if you are doing a podcast and there's multiple people talking, and as we do, everybody's talking and laughing, and you want to say something and make sure that you're being heard, you can press your little mute on your ducking button, and that will lower everyone else's gain so that your microphone, and that's going to be the main microphone, number 1 on feed 1, will be the dominant microphone that'll be heard over everyone else. So that's pretty cool as well. So I did do one custom voice, and this is the one I created for Evans and for Christina Nietzsche.
And that's this voice right here. Okay, so this is my hyped up chipmunk. I drank 3.5 cups of espresso. I'm talking about big cups. I ain't talking about no little baby espresso cup. I'm talking about like them big chuggers. Yeah, I drank all that coffee, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go live now, and I'm just gonna talk to people about tech. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Right, Evans? Right? Faustino. I know you in here. Don't act like you don't hear me. I know Evans hear me. I see Evans laughing right now. Stop laughing at me, Evans. Just stop it.
All right, guys. So another feature that the new Rodecaster Pro has is the ability to also bring in additional Bluetooth accessories, including like these earbuds from Samsung. I have them listed down in the carousel if you guys want to take a look at these, but it's not limited to these. Any of the Bluetooth earbuds will work, or Bluetooth headphones as well. Now, I've had these earbuds for quite a few years. I don't remember when I got them, but I've had them for a long time. I like these when I'm sitting out, maybe at a coffee shop, just chilling, watching, a couple of videos, and put these in my ear, and it's just all submersive, So yeah, I'm a big fan of these, and they come with this really nice little charging case. If I'm not mistaken, this case will probably recharge your earbuds. I think it's like 2 or 3 times it'll recharge them. You only need one USB cable plugged into this to charge them. These really sync up really well. You just have this one little simple button that you press here on the back to sync these to your different devices. I currently have them connected to my phone and my iPad, but eventually I'm going to stop saying that I'm going to do it and just do it. I am going to connect them to this Rodecaster Pro 2. All right. So let me switch back over here. Let's go over here. I'm gonna show you guys some quick stuff I can do here with the Yolo Box. I'm gonna do a split screen here real quick. So I'm gonna choose my B camera and my A camera, and I'm gonna do them both at the same time. I'm gonna bring the screens a little bit closer, and boom, just like that. Now we got our side-by-side screen. All right, so of course, I still have things over here I can show you guys. I can move the camera around on this side of the screen, and then you guys get me on the opposite side of the screen. So next item in the carousel, guys, is actually this little SSD drive. I have a few of these, but these things really come in super handy. Let's see if we can get the camera to focus on this. Let me bring this lens back a little bit. Okay, so these little SSD drives, guys, you can find them here on Amazon in different variants. You can get them in a 2 terabyte, 1 terabyte. That's what this one is. You can also get these in 500 gigabytes and 250 gigabytes, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is the lowest you can go. But where these things really come in handy now is that you can use these now with the Rodecaster Pro 2. You can also use them with the Yolo Box to record your content directly onto these. So like with the Yolo Box, you just plug this in as a USB device, and you'll be able to record and also save your media onto this. On the Rodecaster Pro 2, it now has 2 USB outs. So you could actually plug this into one of them and use this instead of the SD card, and record all of your podcasts directly onto this as well. So these really come in handy. They're very small, but they are mighty for what they are. I actually use these a lot of times, guys, for editing videos right off of these drives, because they're more than fast enough to be able to do it. So take a look at these. Don't sleep on these, guys. You can get a really good price for them here on Amazon, and they're pretty durable. I did break mine, but I fixed it with some nail glue that one of the makeup artists gave me, and that little piece has been on there ever since, probably about 3 years, and it still hasn't fallen off yet. So I guess that's a good thing, right? All right, let me just check my comments on both of the other platforms, make sure I didn't miss anybody. All right, so yeah, guys, that's this ScanDisk professional SSD drives. You can find them here on Amazon. All right, so let's go back. Where are we? Okay, that's like a big picture-in-picture. We don't want that, so let's go back up here. Boom, there we go. Okay, so what's next? Next in the carousel is actually the microphone that I'm speaking on. This is the Rode Procaster. Now, this is my daily driver. Of course, I purchased this microphone I think about a few months after purchasing the Rode Pod mics. That's in between me owning the SM7B. After I sold the SM7B, I bought this microphone, and I've literally been rocking with this microphone ever since. Now, you can find this microphone here on Amazon for $171.10. If you like the sound of this microphone, or you think it's, not too big for your desk, it is a large microphone. Check it out. Now, I did purchase an additional shock mount so that I could mount this in the center, this desktop stand in the center of the microphone, because the mount that comes with it mounts near the rear of the microphone, and that's always a concern to me. I always feel like the microphone's about to fall over. So I just went ahead and found this little very inexpensive shock mount here on Amazon. I think it was like $12, and then this thing has been in there ever since then. So Rode Procaster microphone. Yes, I bought it with my own monies, Now, I did purchase the Rode Pod mics, and that's these right here. These are a much smaller version of the similar type of microphone, all metal construction, no plastic. Maybe these knobs here on the side are like a rubber or plastic or something, but everything else is metal. This yoke that you see here that you would use to connect it to your mic stand or your boom arm really is nice. I'm going to plug this one in so you guys can hear what it sounds like. Give me a second. And these very inexpensive XLR cables, I have had these things for a couple of years now, and I'm still rocking the same ones. All right, so I'm gonna switch over to the Rode Pod Mic. All right, guys, so what you're listening to right now is the Rode Pod Mic. It is $99 here on Amazon. So yes, I'm a little bit close to the microphone because that's just the way my desk is set up. But if you're into this microphone, you can get a little bit ways from it and still sound pretty decent in it. This does do very well for rejecting background sounds, as does this one. Of course, if you're connecting it to something like one of the more high-end mixers, you will have the ability to implement, things like noise gates, compressors, and stuff like that, which can even take this microphone to a whole nother level. So, guys, if you're interested in this microphone, let me actually check what my gain level is on this one. I have it set at 50, so I'm going to go ahead and bring that up a little bit. I'm going to bring that up to about 57 on this microphone. So you guys should have instantly heard a difference in the sound of that microphone coming in now. You might even be picking up a little bit of room noise or the noise of the fan, because there's actually a fan on my desk. Even though I have the AC on, these devices on this desk can get pretty hot pretty quick. So I do have one of the fans just kind of running here on the desk. So if you do hear a little bit of wind noise, if you hear any wind noise at all, it's coming from that fan. All right, I'm gonna switch back to my other microphone. All right, guys, so I'm back on my daily driver. Let me just unplug this real quick. I did also add some XLR cables down there in the carousel. It's a kit. It's $44.99 for the kit, and that will give you probably more than enough cables to get started. Most of you are not gonna have more than 4 microphones connected at any given time. I have rarely ever connected more than 4 microphones, and I've been doing this for quite a while. So, you guys may be the exception, and you can, maybe somehow you need 6 cables, but I always like having a backup in case something happens, because right after Prime Day, 2 of my HDMI cables went out, because I guess it's from like streaming so much and the device is getting so hot over those 8 hours that I was streaming per day. Even though it was 2 hours per time I went live, it's still 2 hours of streaming, then a break, then another 2 hours, then a break, then another 2 hours. So yeah, it's like 8 hours. So I burned out 2 of the HDMI cables, and I had to replace them. So when I replaced them, I actually wound up getting more than one, so I got some backups. All right. So yeah, so let's see what else we got going on here. So next item in the carousel, guys, are the microphones we were talking about earlier, and that's the Rode Wireless Go microphones. I was saying to Colander and then also to another viewer, RJ, that I thought these microphones could be perfect, for most productional setups, because you're going to get with the kit, the Rode Wireless Go 2s, you're going to get the 2 microphones, the receiver. The microphones now have internal memory, so that means you can record a backup track. You can also use them now with the Rode Connect app on your Mac or PC. That's going to give you some very similar like features that you get from the Rodecaster Pro. Just think about it like Rodecaster Pro Lite, but it's on your computer side of things. You will be able to adjust the gain. So if you want to do like say for instance a little podcast, you can have a couple of these connected, and you can just be sitting there, you and your mate, and just talking about whatever you talk about, and you can adjust the gain. You can play some sound effects. Check it out. The app is free. Just download it and play with it. At least it'll give you an idea of what you'll be able to do. Now, of course, the Rode Wireless Go microphones are not the only microphones that can take advantage of that Rode Connect app. There are quite a few in Rode's lineup that will be able to use that app. So just check it out. So with the Rode Wireless Go 2s, guys, you're going to get 2 microphones, 1 receiver, 3 USB-C cables. You're going to get a little travel pouch. You're also going to get 3 of these little dead cats for wind noise. So yeah, that's pretty much what you get for your 20. It's $258.85 right now here on Amazon as we speak. So that's the price you can get it for right now today, right now. Now, we did take a quick look at the DJI microphones, their wireless microphones. So we're going to go ahead and go over those pretty quick. So in this pouch, you do get this nice little pouch that kind of has like a carbon fiber type of pattern to it. Of course, the pouch is not carbon fiber, but it looks like it. You get your magnetic case, You also get in, now this pouch has 2 pockets inside of it. So on the second pocket is where I keep my cables. So you get one USB-A to USB-C cable. You get these little dead cats. And you also get a TRS to TRS cable. That's what you're going to use to connect, say, for instance, to your camera. You're going to use this cable right here. So I just keep all of those things in like the inner pocket. And I just keep all of that on one side of the pouch. And then on the opposite side of the pouch is where I keep the case. So here's the case, the little DJI case. Now this one also has that carbon fiber type of pattern on the case. On the back of it, you can see there's one input right here for one USB-C cable, and you only need one. That will charge the case as well as everything that's inside of it. This case will also charge everything that's inside of it. So you get your receiver, you get your 2 microphones, you get 2 phone adapters, one for Lightning, one for Android, which is USB-C. These just pop off just like they do with most DJI devices, like their little cameras. These just pop right off and you can replace it with whatever other thing you want to connect to it. So it comes with the 2 phone adapters, and it also comes with a cold shoe mount that fits on here as well. Now, different from the Rode microphones, guys, these you do not need any type of app to control any functionality of this device. Everything can be controlled right from the screen on the receiver, and that's including starting and stopping recording, also changing, gain levels and all that kind of stuff. You can do it right from this device. And when you have your accessories still connected to it, you just put it back in the case. You don't even have to take the accessories off. There's space for them. And then you have your microphones. And you guys can see how tiny these little DJI microphones are, right? So you have an omnidirectional mic on the front, just like on the Rode. You also have a 3.5. You can plug in a lavalier mic or some other microphone. On this side, you have your, which is that, your power button? No, you have your sync button and your record button on this side. On the back, you have your electronics for charging. On the far side, you have your USB-C plug, and you have your sync switch as well. And then, of course, I did mention that, of course, they have this little clip, and then it has the magnet on the clip. But what's really unique about these microphones, they have, again, just like the Rode, they have internal memory so that you can record a backup track. But these have a dedicated record button. That means you don't need an app. You don't have to connect these to anything. You could literally just be walking around with just one of these microphones in your pocket, pop it out, just start recording, just like, hey, something's going on over there. Why is that giant donut rolling down the road? Well, sir, it detached from the roof, and Iron Man didn't go get it. He just sat there and looked at it. Oh, okay, cool. Well, let's go over and interview Iron Man. Whoop, nope, there he goes. Well, maybe not. So we didn't get to interview Iron Man, but maybe next time. But at least I got everything else recorded onto my little teeny tiny little microphone. So, and then when I'm done with my recording, I just come back over to my little case and I just drop that back in the case like that. And you see the magnets just still live on these clips, and you don't have to remove them. So that's pretty cool. And of course, the minute you put these back in, it's going to sync everything back together and going to start charging them at the same time. That's a win. All right, guys, so that's the DJI Wireless Microphone Kit. It is $329.99. Comes with this nice little pouch. Easily fits in your camera bag, your backpack, your giant pockets, your purse, whatever it is you got. This will travel well with you. I do recommend carrying these accessories with you because you never know when they're going to be necessary. All right. Okay, what's next? Next item is one of my fun things, and that is this, this Echo Dot. I use this thing literally for everything, guys. I use this thing to keep track of stuff. I use it to, remind me of things to do, for timers. I ask it for recipes sometimes. Another thing, I just get bored sometimes. I'll just have it tell me a joke, like, Alexa, tell me a joke.
What's the best place in the house to hide from ghosts? The living room.
So when you guys see me posting these dad jokes in other people's live streams, blame this guy. Blame this guy. I'm just saying. So you can get you one of these, $29.99, all the amazing features that come with it. Of course, looking up your shows, asking it, Google-like questions, so it's a really amazing device. If you don't have one, get you one. All right, let's keep rolling. So the next item in the carousel is my Gopro Hero 10. We talked a little bit about it earlier. If you're interested in one of these action cameras, you can get the kit for $496. That's going to get you the GoPro Hero 10, 2 of the rechargeable batteries. You can get the buckle mount, the adhesive, the GoPro screw. You're going to get a 32 gigabyte SD card. That's a mini SD card with the adapter. And you're going to get a nice little semi-rigid case for carrying all of your multiple accessories. And you know, if you have a GoPro, trust me, you're going to have a lot of accessories. just believe that, okay? Now, I did want to connect this GoPro to my Ninja Cast when I was using it for my switcher. Also, I wanted to connect it to the Yolo Box, and it wouldn't connect to either one of them. It wouldn't connect to the Ninja Cast because it didn't have HDMI out. And then it wouldn't work with the Yolo Box because there's something about GoPros that they cannot be seen by most of these devices, even as a USB camera. Now, you can use a GoPro as a webcam by just downloading the free GoPro utility for Mac or PC. Then you just plug in a regular USB cable and you'll be able to use this as a webcam. But because you can't install that firmware on other devices, then you can't use this as a webcam. Or in my case, the way I wanted to use it as a studio camera, right? So I had to purchase the media mod. So the media mod was an additional $79.99. Most of you guys have probably seen these media mods. You know, it comes with, it gives you 2 additional cold shoes. This microphone that's built into it is front and rear address, depending on how you set it up within the GoPro itself. It does add a little bit of protection for the GoPro. You know, that's nice. But I actually purchased this thing for $80 for that one plug. So I could plug this into my switcher. Yeah, I did that. Now, of course, you do have USB-C here as well. It does have these nice little flaps. And you also have a 3.5 that you could use for your headphone. I mean, not for headphones, for a microphone if you want to plug that in. If I was going to use this at all that way, I would definitely use a wireless microphone. That could be Rode or DJI, TRS into this, receiver connected to one of these cold shoes here. And, we're going to be good. So, yeah. Real nice little setup. I have used it a couple of times because originally I wanted to replace my normal B camera with this because it's lighter and I'd be able to just pick it up and just, show you guys things anytime I wanted to. But of course, now that Osbot has sent me their little Osbot Meet camera, this is kind of taking the place of that. And on top of it, another slap in the face. They also sent me this UVC to HDMI adapter. So that means I could take any webcam and connect it to a device that needs HDMI, right? So that happened. But, you also got to calculate the price of this. I mean, Osbot sent me this. So if I was to pay for this, it would have been like $169. But for the functionality I was looking for, I would have paid it, just to be able to use the camera the way I wanted to use it. So, you guys saw I paid $80 for this thing. So, there's that. All right. So let me show you guys my B camera so this kind of makes a little bit of sense. Oops. All right, so this is my B camera that I use here in the studio, okay? So this is the Sony a7 III. I have the Sigma 24-70 2.8 lens on here. I have the vertical grip. I have the small rig cage. I used to have a monitor mount on here with a NATO rail, but I took it off, and now I can't remember what I did with the NATO rail. But I still have, like here's a little monitor mount, the little small rig monitor mount I was talking about. But I don't know what I did with the NATO rail. So I need to find that so I can put it back on here. But if you're interested in this type of setup and you're okay with the weight of it, now this is a full frame sensor camera. It's going to be great for photography, great for video. It is a hybrid camera. I've used it for both on location, in studio. This thing is a beast. This is the first Sony camera I ever purchased when I moved over from Nikon. This camera right here. Now since then I bought a lot of Sony bodies. I have the Sony a7R II. I have the Sony a7R III. I have an A1. So these are, again, cameras that I highly, highly recommend. Now, if you're a Sony shooter, great. If you're a Nikon shooter, great. Whatever you shoot, just shoot. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about the brand as much. Just get out there and create some content. That's the most important thing, okay? Now, if you're interested in this camera, just the body only, you can get it for $19.98 for this, for the body only. If you want the vertical grip, this will allow you to add an additional battery and also have, multiple buttons. So you have your same shutter button in this orientation as you do in landscape. So you can, go back and forth. Of course, I have this cage on here, which makes it easy for me to add other accessories. But if you do want The vertical grip, I have the Sony branded one. Right now here on Amazon is $348 for this. And then the Sigma 24-70 2.8 lens. This is the only zoom lens I own. All of my other lenses are primes. You can get this lens, guys, here on Amazon for $1,099. So, yeah. So, I mean, you can set up a system like this really easily. Jennifer Lude, welcome to the stream. All right, let me put this thing away. RJ, did I miss you? Did I miss you pop in here and I didn't welcome you to the stream? I apologize. I apologize big time. All right, guys, so we're going to keep rocking. So the next item in the carousel is actually one of my everyday tools, and that is the Wacom and Tools Pro tablet. There we go. So this is the medium. Now, this is what I use for a lot of my Photoshop work, my graphic work, for some video work as well. I use this tablet literally for everything, guys, because it has those programmable buttons. I can program these for a ton of my different keystrokes that I normally would use, you know, when I'm using like one of my wireless keyboards here for my Mac. So I just have those now assigned to these buttons. On the medium and large, this multi-selection ring, you can have 4 different functions. So this is like 4 different sets of tools and things you can pull up. You have that as well here. The medium and the large, you can replace this surface over time if you need to. Now, all 3 of the tablets all come with the same Pro Pen. The Pro Pen is completely adjustable. I mean, you can program these little rocker buttons to do almost anything you want to. Almost anything you can program one of these buttons to do, you could literally program these rockers to do. I don't recommend that. You know, just use the pen for what it's supposed to be. And then you also have this back button here. I have mine Command Z where I can undo something that I've done. I just tap it once on the screen. I mean, on the tablet, and then I just go back to retouching, dodging and burning, you know, frequency separation, whatever I'm doing. So these really come in handy. Now, the tablet also comes with a little pen holder. It's very weighted. It's metal. You get a bunch of replacement nibs inside of here as well. You can get the medium like I have here for $367.50 here on Amazon. Check it out. Check it out. All right, we don't have that many items left in the carousel, so we're going to just kind of roll through these like a gangster. All right, guys, so the next item in the carousel is the LumaCube broadcast quality lights. This kit was sent to me by LumaCube, and that's this light kit right here. In the kit, you get the light panel, diffusion material, you get the ball head mount, you get the adjustable light stand. You also get a tripod and a suction cup. Let me grab the light so I can show it to you guys. Now, this is a bicolor light. This light can be adjusted from 3200 to 5600 Kelvin. Let me grab the light. See how much further it is I have to go to get stuff back there? Anyway, so here's the little suction cup, and it does use a 1/4-20, so that's the size of the screw that you see poking out right there. This is the light panel itself. So here's our light panel. It does have additional diffusion material on it. The panel itself also comes with built-in diffusion, but it's this additional diffusion material that allows this to be a super soft light. You also have this ball head mount. Of course, you have this adjustable light stand, and you have this collapsible little tripod. You can just rotate this little ring, and these little legs will fold up like this. So you can detach this from all of the different components and make this as much smaller light. Say maybe you wanted to connect it just to the, to the suction cup, or maybe you want to connect it just to the tripod because you want it close to the desk. Now, another unique feature about this light, guys, from this specific one, you can actually use this as a power bank. So that means you could plug your USB-C cable into this and plug that into your smartphone, your tablet, small devices. You can actually leech power off of this and recharge your phone or some other device if you're not using this as a light. So that's another feature that's pretty cool. And if I didn't already mention, I think I did, this is a bicolor light, 3200 Kelvin, all the way to 5600 Kelvin light temperature on this light. So really nice little kit. All right, guys, so the next lights, now these lights I actually purchased myself, and that's these lights here from Rolino. These lights, you can buy them either one light by themselves, it's just gonna come with a light panel and the adapter, or you can get the recommended kit. The kit is going to give you 2 of these light panels. It's going to give you the adapter. You're going to get 2 light stands. You're going to get 2 wall plugs and a travel case. These lights have 192 little LED lights. They also have 400 milliamp hour battery, so these lights can last quite a long time. They're a much larger light panel than the ones that, you know, I just showed you guys with the Luma Cube ones. So let me grab this camera here real quick and show you guys what that light looks like. Okay, so here's one of the lights panels right here over my A camera, and then here's another one that's right here on my B camera. Let me see if I can get this camera far enough up so you can see how thin these lights are. So they just have a very, very thin little battery in them. So yeah, those lights really come in handy. That's what I'm using here in the studio. And honestly, guys, I've been using them for the last 3 or 4 months. And these lights just really, really work out well for me here in the studio. So check them out. The kit is $135.99. All right, so I did throw in the carousel my pick for monitors when it comes to an all-immersing type of gaming / work from home type monitor on a budget. And that is the 30-inch monitor, curved monitor I have down here for you guys in the carousel. It's $269.97 for this little monitor right now. I think it's an amazing price because 2 main things. One, you can have one monitor and still have enough space on your monitor to have your multiple applications open at the same time. Okay, that's one. 2, it's a bright enough monitor that you could use and a fast enough monitor that you could use for gaming, for some light graphics, maybe some light retouching or something like that. So you're not going to feel like, you know, oh, this monitor is too dark, or this monitor is this, that, or the other. I'm not saying it's like, you know, a high-end BenQ monitor or something like that, but it is a good budget monitor. Is right in that sweet spot between $150 and $350 for a home monitor. You're going to get a lot of value out of that monitor. Now, I did purchase a small monitor here for the studio, and I'll show you guys that right here. That's this little monitor that's here on my desk. So it's a 15.8-inch monitor. Let me see if I can tilt this camera up a little bit, and you guys can kind of see it back there. That's this monitor right here. I purchased this here on Amazon. It's the InnoView monitor. It's a 1080p panel. This one can be powered by USB-C. I have it currently connected to the Yolo Box. The Yolo Box is not powering this monitor. I actually have it connected to wall power. This one also has a nice little magnetic case that doubles as a stand. So that comes in really handy, especially, you know, when I want to be able to take this thing out on location and I'm worried about the monitor possibly getting scratched, because this case that is also the stand, when you lay this flat, that case will cover the screen. So it will also protect the screen when you're putting it in your bags and stuff like that. So that super comes in handy. Okay, since we're already on my desk level, let's take a look at this little stand here that I have for my MacBook Air back here. Excuse all these cables, but it's just no way to avoid that the way I have the Yolo Box set up right now here on the desk. So this is the MacBook Air M1. It's a 13-inch laptop. I have it on this stand that was sent to me by Lumacall. This is an all-metal stand. It's like a metal alloy, like aluminum. It comes with a top plate, a bottom plate, and a center column. This stand will rotate around 180 degrees. It is slightly slanted, as you guys can see that here. It is slightly slanted, but there is a little lip on the front of this that prevents you from possibly, from your laptop sliding off. It does have rubber grips on the top and on the bottom, and that will also prevent your stand from sliding on the desk or your laptop from sliding off of the stand. So yeah, that one you can get here on Amazon for $25.27 for that little stand. Now here's another stand. Now I actually bought this stand myself. This stand I purchased here on Amazon. I use it for my iPad Pro. And as you see, it has the same kind of little rubber padding underneath, also underneath the shelving part of it. Inside of it, it has rubber padding there to protect your device when you lay it inside. It's got a rubber pad here when your device is laying up against this. This is completely adjustable. You can adjust the height. You can push it back or forward, however you want to set it up. So if you're using a tablet in a landscape or portrait orientation, either or, this is going to be perfect for you. This thing is very weighted. It doesn't feel cheap at all. If anything, it feels like it was over-engineered, for what it's going to be used for. But I just keep one here on the desk, guys, and this is what I use to hold up my iPad, and I use my iPad obviously for Amazon here. That's the device that I'm using currently, for my comments, as the comments show up here on the screen, and also I can choose different items here in the carousel. So, all right, guys. So the next items left that we're going to talk about after I move a few of these boxes out of the way are these solar powered batteries that were sent to me by Geniverse. Okay. Now, I live down here in Texas, guys. We get some hot weather, we get hurricanes, we get tornadoes, we get all kind of weird, crazy weather that goes on here in this state. So having one of these emergency batteries just gives you that extra peace of mind. You can purchase this 1,000 watt 2000 surge battery. That's this one right here, which is the Home Power 1. You can get that one for $8.99. This battery has 3 AC outlets of 110. It has, on the DC side of things, you have 5 outlets. You actually have 2 USB-C. You have 2 USB-A. One is a quick charge. You also have a 12-10 amp plug if you're using it like a car, for like your car plugs. You can power this battery or charge it by using the included wall plug. You could also use the cigarette lighter plug to charge this as well, or you could charge it with the solar panel kit. Now, if you want the solar panel kit, it will come with these 2 100 watt solar panels. Now, my kit actually came with the 2 100 watt solar panels. That kit is $14.99. These will charge the, obviously the device using solar power. I've had no problems with it. This thing has been really good for me. I've used it to power up the OG Rodecaster Pro. I've used it on some of my computers. I've used it with the Yolo boxes. Now, speaking of the Yolo box, this Yolo box right now that I'm streaming with is actually plugged into the Home Power 2 Plus. Now, that's the second battery that was sent to me. Now, that's this big tall thing right here. It's not really that tall. It just looks that from the camera angle. But, guys, you can kind of get an idea of how much taller it is than the Home Power 1. Now, this one is a 2200 watt with a 4400 watt surge battery. Now, this one comes with, mine came with solar panels. You can purchase this without the solar panels for $19.99 or with the solar panels, which is going to be $29.99. Now, this one has, on the AC side of things, you got 4 AC plugs. And on DC is very similar to the Home Power 1. You have the 2 USB-Cs, the 2 USB-As, and you have that 12-volt plug that's like a cigarette lighter plug. Now, this one also comes with a nice little tray that you can set this down on, because this one is a little bit heavier than the first one. But it comes with this little tray with wheels on it, little caster, so you can roll this thing around your floor. It rolls really easily. I mean, literally, I think like a 3 or 4 or 5-year-old could push this thing all around the house if you needed to. Now, both of them have fans when they're charging. The Home Power 1's fans are on the side. The Home Power 2's fans are at the very top where the handle is. So there is a handle on the very top of it that you would use to pick it up. On the Home Power 1, it also has a handle, but the handle just lays flat when it's not up. You just kind of raise it up like a radio type of handle. It does have padding, and the Home Power 1 also has little rubber feet underneath it, when it's sitting on a surface. So both of those batteries, guys, I have here that were sent to me by Geniverse. So like I said, if you guys are interested in those or have any questions about them, feel free to ask me. That's what I'm here for. Now, I am still trying to do, a couple of giveaways every week. Of course, in order to do those giveaways, I have to, I look forward to trying to get more followers to follow us here on this channel. So, if you guys are interested in participating in some of the giveaway things that I'll be doing, whether it's gift cards or actual tech that's been sent to me by some of these brands, all you have to do is be following, guys. Come through, follow, comment, hang out a little bit, encourage your friends and family to come by and check it out. If my type of content is something they would be interested in. I personally only want to build my audience organically. I'm not looking for just, hundreds of people to just come follow me for no reason. I really want people who are following me to truly be passionate and interested in the things that I talk about, that you guys are interested in as well. So those are the people that I try to attract to this live stream. Now, for those of you who are new and don't know, I am live twice a day. I'm live at noon Central Time, and I'm live again at 7 p.m. So that is Monday through Friday. Saturdays and Sunday, I usually go live at 7 p.m. and I'll be here for like 2, maybe 2.5, 3 hours, depending on what the crowd's like, how big my carousel is, or maybe if I'm going to do some retouching or something like that at the end. So you never know, but you'll know if you actually come through. Now, don't be shy. There is a ton of live streamers here on Amazon. Go up. Click on where you guys see live stream up there underneath the Amazon stream button, and you will see that there's a number of other live streamers that are here on Amazon. You can go check them out as well. Give them a follow. Stop in, say hi. You know, there's a few people live right now. Let's actually see. Let me switch over here. Show you guys right now. You're looking at me, but if we look down here underneath me, you can see right now, Kurt Nugent is live, Grant is live, Jalissa is live. Right now, the Dragon Blogger is live, and there's a few others that are live here as well. Now, the way you can find them is first click on Discovery, and Discovery will show you pretty much who is live right now. So you can just kind of scroll down, and this first little 8 spots right here will show you, you know, who's currently live, and there may be some other people that are also live. You'll find them down below. And if you're interested in, and once you start following people, you will start to find the ones you're following under following, and then you'll be able to go here and you'll see all the different people that you're currently following will be listed here. Now, if you want to take a look at some of the categories that are available to you, if you click on browse, you'll see all these different categories like featured, you know, creators, electronics, TV personalities, fashion and beauty, you know, streaming soon. You got fitness, you have home, you have wellness, pets, gaming, a little bit of something for everybody. You know, we got babies, we got food, we got media, you know, so we got a bunch of things going on here, guys, you know, so you can go over and check it out. Another thing that you guys are more than welcome to check out is your boy Rome's storefront here on Amazon. And the way you find that is just to go over to romeknowstech.live, and you'll be able to see my storefront. And on the storefront, you guys will see a bunch of lists that I put together, different items, you know, for photography, for live streaming, for everyday things we need. Just a ton of different categories, including a bunch of shoppable videos that I've done. If you like the videos, guys, don't forget to hit that little like button, that little thumbs up button. You know, that lets the algorithm know that you guys like what I'm creating. So, you know, that also helps out the channel a lot. I see my man Jeffy just popped up in here. Jeffy, what it do? What it do? Welcome. Welcome to what's almost the end of this live stream, Jeffy, but you know, I appreciate you stopping by if it's even for the last 2 seconds. So come on, bro. You know, you always welcome up in here. All right, guys, so I will be back tonight at 7 p.m. Let me check the time. It is 2:14. Actually, I've gone over, but that's all right because you're good people and I like hanging out with you. But according to the Yolo Box, I've only been live for 1 hour and 42 minutes. I think that's more accurate because I think I went live at... what was it? Did I go live at 1? I think I went live at 12:15, so that should be about right. Yeah, that should be right. All right, guys, so I'll be back here tonight at 7 p.m. Hopefully, guys, we'll have enough people in the comments, enough comments going on, enough new possible followers that we can also do a gift card giveaway. If not, you know, it could just be fun hanging out because, you know, a bunch of the other streamers will be popping in here at night, you know, like Christina Nietzsche and Rachel and Grant and others and Randall and Ryan and others that have come through here, you know, creating some chaos in my live stream, talking about crazy stuff. So you know how we do it. Everybody in here dropping dad jokes, you know, so it's always a fun time. Fun time. Evan says, chat says 1 hour. Chat says 1 hour where, Evans? Nope, my stream says 1 hour and 43 minutes. I'll show you. So let me switch to this camera view. So you see right here on the Yolo Box, you see right there where it says live. It says 1 hour and 43 minutes that I've been live right now. 1 hour and 43 minutes. But check this out, guys. 0 drop frames, 30 frames a second. Now the kilobits seem to fluctuate, but I think that's normal. We probably would see that with OBS if we were paying attention to it. But, you know, again, that's the Yolo Box, guys. I've been rocking this right next to this iPad. I usually would be live using my MacBook Air, but I've been using this Yolo Box for the last 3 nights. Yeah, 3 days. So day and night I've been live each time using the Yolo Box. So, you know, that's a testament right there that it does work really, really well. So, yep. All right. So I'll be back here at 7 p.m. tonight. Y'all know how we do things up here in Rome Knows Tech. So
come on through. But until then, stay safe, wash your hands, wear a mask, take care of your loved ones, and be a good human. Yes, be a good human. Pay it forward. Do something nice for someone you have no reason to do something nice for, just because. All right?
And other than that, I am out because this dog is already up. He's ready to go downstairs. The duck's probably at the door, tapping on the door, trying to get in. He wants to go out. The duck wants to come in. I just need some peace. But, you know, I love them, so they always funny to me. But anyway, I'll see y'all at 7 p.m. tonight.
all right, so come on through. Until then, peace. I'm out of here.